It's grim.
I can't get hold of me bottle. I can't get hold of me end. There we go, got it off now.
It's that.
There's a fresh one in the fridge, don't worry. If we need it. Oh, I think we are going to need it. Right, Lucy, you need to...
No, I'll get it. Don't pull this bullshit on me.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us, you beautiful humans. I'm not 4 minutes late. What are you about? It says 20:32 on my clock below. It is a stunning day here in the UK, and I mean a truly stunning day here in the UK. It's been beautiful. I've adored the weather. I love this kind of shit. Luce hates it. I've loved this weather today.
Where is it?
In the fridge. It is top right.
I don't know what everyone is talking about. Where I go, the chap just cleans your hands, clips your nails and straightens your cuticles for you before brushing down your blazer. Isn't it the same for you?
She's broken.
I'm quite certain the help isn't supposed to talk to you unless you speak to them first. You ought not to have had to worry about...
She's broken at the moment. Why is this coming up? Thank you, darling. She's bringing up super chats from Martin from like the other night.
Oh.
Amy's broken. Amy's broken, chat. I don't know if I can fix this. I've had to mute her and mute my music for a minute because there's quite a lot that have happened since these ones. Right, can I skip? Skip. 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 Have we fixed it? Because since those ones that happened on, oh for fuck's sake, skip. 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 I don't know where we're at. This is a problem. This is a problem. Might be this weekend's IT reset for Microsoft. Look at these aren't new super chats. By the way, Grimdark Mark, thank you for the 5 gifted. You're amazing.
You're not saying it right.
Grimdark Mark.
Grimdark Mark.
Why is he suddenly a Scouser?
Because I feel like it rolls so much nicer. Grimdark
Thank you for the 5 gifted, Mr. The Mark. And Mark Bell. It's all about the marks tonight. Thank you for the 1 gifted as well. 6 off the bat. People who want Weta Abaddon. We'll talk about that in a minute. I don't know what's going on with Amy. She's just decided to announce all the super chats from the last fucking 48 hours in order since Wednesday night stream. I don't know why. So I've muted her so you shouldn't be able to hear her. And I'm currently just clicking through, skipping all the alerts, but it doesn't tell me which one I've skipped. So I'm going to have to keep clicking until I get to one that I recognise, and then perhaps we can get to catch up. Or she's broken, which is possible. She could be broken. Or it's just time of the month and she's being rebellious.
Rebel.
Have we caught up? I think she's calmed down. I think I can put my music back on. I think we're okay. Right, okay, she stopped. I have no idea what happened there. Good evening, everybody. Let's hope he's not on Windows 10. I'm not on Windows 10 with Clown Strike. I'm not. I can't open this one now either. My hands are too clammy. As someone who's seen it in person, it's beautiful. 50 hours to paint one, I was told. I can believe it's 50 hours, yeah. We'll talk about this in just a second. Let me get this fucking bottle open so I can drink with you beautiful people for the weekend. Oh, that was a good pop. Did you hear that? That was a good pop, that one. Pop up this little... There we go. That's better. That's much better. Right, thank you for the congratulations on 33,000 overnight. Taking us long enough, but 33,000 overnight. Thank you for the congratulations, you amazing human being. So what am I talking about when I say expensive hobby? How much is too much? So I think it's probably fair to say that those of us who collect this fantastic hobby, whether it be Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Old World, whatever it might be, we would consider it quite expensive. Mm-hmm. I would argue that it's not. If you collect a singular army for a singular gaming system and you compare it to the cost of other hobbies out there that exist, I would argue that actually 40k is not the most expensive out there. It's not cheap, but when you consider the reward time per pound or dollar spent, the amount of time it takes you to build, the amount of time it takes you to paint, the amount of game time you get out of those models that you buy, I would argue actually it's not that expensive as a hobby. I know people that do things like fishing, which will spend literal thousands on a singular rod. It doesn't include all the equipment that goes with it.
The trouble is, I don't know a single person in Warhammer that's bought one army and then not bought anything else. So it's not necessarily how much the hobby has cost. It's how regular the doorbell goes for something to do with Warhammer.
But
that's like the perceived cost
but that's
of
not
it.
the hobby's fault. That's the person's fault. That's the lack of self-control by the person. If you collected
I do get the impression it attracts an awful lot of people who have very bad impulse control.
Help me out here.
It comes to.
I'm fighting here, chat. Help me out.
When it comes to Warhammer purchasing.
So I would still consider that the hobby in general, when you compare it to sort of golf, fishing, my other hobby is motorbikes, for Christ's sake. I would argue that Warhammer doesn't seem all that bad in the grand scheme of things when you compare them to other hobbies. Games Workshop, I got very excited very recently. Games Workshop announced a partnership with Weta Workshop. If you haven't heard of Weta Workshop did a lot of you'll see the name come up on screen if you watch the Lord of the Rings films. Did a lot of the modelling for Lord of the Rings. And they're probably widely regarded as one of the best, if not the best, modelling workshop in the world. And they announced a partnership with Games Workshop. And they recently did Lieutenant Titus, or Captain Titus, whatever he is now, from the new Space Marine game. I was meh, okay, cool, whatever. Today they launched another article. We're going to show you that quite quickly now. Let me get it up. Woohoo. That one. Okay, cool. That one. No, press that one. No, press that one. Right. So the Weta Workshop unleashed a spoiler in all his diabolical glory. Now, the only thing I will say is so far, at least, I haven't had a message from Joe direct to me yet asking me to buy this for him. We'll get into it, right? Last year, we had the privilege of unveiling a jaw-dropping 1/6 scale of Lieutenant Titus, made in collaboration with Weta Workshop. And soon after, we teased that it was only the first in a line of illustrious Warhammer characters getting the glow-up of a lifetime. Now, with the US Open Tacoma in full swing, it's finally time to unveil the second, the War Master Chaos himself, Abaddon the Spoiler. I won't watch the video. I have watched the video, but I won't watch it because I'm fearful of copyright strikes, right? This immense work of art dwarfs even Lieutenant Titus, standing almost 3 feet tall. He's half my height, right?
Whoa.
With immaculately sculpted details that need to be seen to be believed. It's the ultimate collector's piece. They're not making loads of these. For sworn servants of chaos and Warhammer 40,000 fans with an eye for something truly special. Look at that. It is 3 feet tall. Look at it. Oh my lord, right? He is stunning. If you watch the video where they zoom in on some of the details, they've done an insane job on this model. Abaddon is armoured in his traditional raiment, from the haunting faces screaming their way along the blade of Drachnaen to the wicked, blood-soaked talon of Horus. His armour is scratched and pitted with such incredible detail that you'd believe it really had seen 10,000 years of constant war. You don't have to worry about recreating these beautiful paint jobs either. The statue comes fully painted from top knot to toe, picking out the dozens of intricate trophies and fetishes hanging from Abaddon's Terminator armour. It is stunning. Like, fucking stunning. Right, Abaddon, the Despoiler, is limited to just 700 sculpted and hand-painted pieces and is available to pre-order right now from Weta Workshop store. I clicked on this. I'll show you that in just a moment. There's still more to come too, with work already begun on awesome statues of St. Celestine and Skagrot the Loon King. Stay tuned. This is what I used for the thumbnail, right? So, I clicked on this. If you haven't seen this yet, please, please, please make sure you're sat down. I've warned you, okay? That is the price of Abaddon the Despoiler, the 3-foot scaled Weta Workshop miniature. They have been good to us, chat. They will allow you to pay in payment plans. You can pick 8 installments of $203, which will finish being paid in February 2025. And I almost thought about it. Because he is fucking stunning. But he is $1,899. This $1,899 is also excluding shipping costs. I've done a bit of playing around. shipping costs to the UK work out at about roughly $150, right? So you're looking at over $2,000 to have this shifted to the UK. Rather have a Warlord Titan. I'd rather have this and use it as a Warlord Titan. So if someone wants to super chat $203.49 every month for the next 8 months, we'll get an Abaddon for the studio. But he is, I mean, the detail, if I'm honest with you though, chat, come on, right? The detail on this thing is unbelievable. Even things like the teeth and the face and the eyes and the, oh, look at the closer you get, the more impressive this thing becomes, to be fair. It's stunning. Is it tax deductible? I don't think I'd try that one. Hashtag Weta Workshop Fund. Do you remember when the channel was early days with live streaming and every single night was a new fund? They used to do Kebab Fund and something else fund. We need some going for this. I have, however, by looking at this website, chat, stumbled across the Lord of the Rings section. That's a dangerous section for a person like me to stumble across. If we double the membership goal tonight, I can get Gandalf. How would you like a 2-foot Gandalf stood next to you?
I would not like a 2-foot Gandalf stood next to me. I have questions about... What is he, like a space marine or...
He's
like
a Chaos Space Marine. He's the War Master.
So all there's a wire that's going into his ear. What's that for?
So you can listen to Radio 2.
And then there's a wire that's going from his arm to his torso. What's that for?
I don't know this.
Right, okay. Okay.
I don't care. Why?
Because I
It's just pipes that fuel and power the suit, isn't it?
What's going in his ear then?
Radio 2. We've been through that one.
Okay.
She's looking at me like she doesn't believe me that Abaddon listens to Radio 2.
Imagine shopping for contents insurance. Any high-value items? Hear me out. A 3 feet tall replica Wallmaster of Chaos, the price of a second-hand car.
Yeah.
Legitimate.
Do you know, they'd probably be like, yeah.
As insurance companies, Kaz, I reckon they've heard stranger fucking things, right? I reckon they've 100% heard stranger things. If I bought this, I'd lock it up and look at it once a month when the payment was made. Oh, I would murder a man for that. They've got a my favourite one is the what's it called? It's like the marshes below. Master's Collection, the Dead Marshes. Let me show you this one, chat. This is my favourite one.
Why she got a 6'2" Gandalf already?
I haven't got the perfect white beard and the big robe. I need the robe, Dave. So this is the other one that we're looking at, right? This one is another collector's edition, but it is Lord of the Rings, and it is fucking stunning, called Master's Collection of Dead Marshes. It gives you an idea as to how big this is when you look at this picture of a person holding it. It is fucking monstrous in size. It is also more than Abaddon. This one makes Abaddon look reasonable because it's $700 more than Abaddon, right? But this has become a dangerous website for me.
I thought there was lights in it.
We could probably adorn the whole house over time with Lord of the Rings Weta Workshop models.
We probably couldn't, babe. We
probably could over time if we had the funds. It's something we could definitely do. Neil Willow, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Are you writing down? You're really leaning into this hat trick stuff, aren't you? We owe, actually.
We do.
We owe Kev a hat trick ding.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Mr. the Demogorgon, if you're out there, we owe you this from Wednesday.
Are we ready to see a border collie burst into life?
She's gonna.
Are you ready?
I know she's pretty fucked at the moment.
There she goes.
She half burst. She half burst.
That was for you, Kev.
That is for Mr. the Demogorgon, who he successfully hat-tricked on Wednesday, but the shirt didn't come through in our order system until the stream finished, so we owed him a ding, right?
Yeah. I've worked out there seems to be about a 45-minute time between someone purchasing merch and then it's showing up for me.
Yeah, it's variable. Sometimes it shows up really fast, sometimes it doesn't. The Gandalf parcel will show up exactly when it means to. I want Gandalf. It's $400, right? It's... I can't justify Abaddon and Gandalf, but I want Gandalf. I fucking love Gandalf. You don't know. You've never watched the films.
I'm just agreeing that I know you love Gandalf.
Along with the sight with all the swords, Ravenforge. I had to exercise some serious self-control before we came at it with Ravenforge. Otherwise, our whole fucking office living room area would look like a fucking armory.
Dreadnaughty says that Gandalf parcel will show up exactly when it means to.
This is how you know she never listens to me.
Did you just read that out?
Yeah.
I'm tuning into the Netley Steam Rally
To
thing.
be fair, we have
like music
it's
going
been before people in America down in Texas or whatever go. It's not hot for us, right? Because I know what happens. It happens every year. For us today, it has been a relatively warm day, right? It's been actually quite a beautiful day. I love it. I'm here for it. I would want more of these. I love this kind of weather. It has been literally bright, clear blue sky. It's been 28 to 29 degrees Celsius with not much of a breeze. I was out on my bike for an hour because it was just so nice. It's fucking beautiful. I went for an hour and a half walk this morning, did 4 and a bit miles because it was. I love it. I came back dripping, but I loved it. I love this weather. However, Luce and the kids hate this weather. They don't like it at all. Well, I think so. I wouldn't say the kids hate it, but they get hot and sweaty.
They hate it because it comes with sunscreen.
Yeah.
So then there's the whole.
But they get hot and sweaty and bothered, and they both had a nap this afternoon. So the house, therefore, has literally everything that can open. All the windows are open. All the doors are open. The front door, which is there, is literally wide open. If you live locally, you could come for a live studio audience. The back door's open. The living room door out to the garden's open. All the windows upstairs are open. Everything's open, which it gives us a bit of a breeze and it cools us down a little bit, right? Which actually, when I'm sat in front of a filming light, is definitely a welcome. It's 100% a welcome. But locally, there's a rally, a steam rally. There's a place called Netley Marsh, and they're running a steam rally locally, and they have a day of showing off tractors and steam engines and all kinds of shit. It's like a big festival thing that they do, and in the evening, they put on live music. And they have some old bat with a fucking microphone on a stage with loads of speakers. And the problem is, because the weather is still, it's bright, it's clear, there's no breeze, there's no trees moving, we can hear it in our living room. Or our office, I should say. We can also hear it in our living room, so we can hear it. So poor old Luce, who's closer to the windows, can hear in the background some old bit on a microphone talking to the crowd.
Well, she was just singing ABBA.
Was she? Oh, okay.
Yeah. All I heard was, gimme, gimme, gimme your man.
Careful.
Midnight.
We'll get copyright struck. Careful. But yeah. But hey, I love it. I'm not going to complain, but it's been a warm day. It has been a warm day. So need to smash your back door in then. Sorry, Tel, what's that offer for? I buy my Warhammer with money from doing online surveys with board. Makes extra £40 on plastic box not seem as bad when it's from answering car insurance questions while having a poo. What on earth? You can make money doing that, Paul. Jesus, Joe would be rich.
Joe might leave you if you tell him he can make money that way.
My windows are open, but definitely feels 10 degrees hotter than outside. It's been a warm experience today.
But it's going to cool down.
Yeah, unfortunately. Melissa, thank you for the 5 gifted. We just need 200 to buy Gandalf tonight, live on stream. All rain in Finland, sadly. Don't tell her that. She'll want to go to Finland again. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, actually. But anyway, yeah, so back to Abaddon, right? Back to the $1,899 Abaddon.
How are you finding EOS 4? Personally feel like the endless spells might be a bit too much, but minus that, loving it.
We haven't used the endless spells yet, Cavino, Bambino, to be honest with you. Thanks for the 5, dude. We haven't used the endless spells yet, nor have we actually really properly used faction terrain. We've used it with Sylvaneth because you have to, but we haven't used it properly. I can't comment on the spells. That aside, the game is fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's amazing. I'm having loads of fun. I don't think, if ender spells are a little bit too much, I don't think they'll ruin the experience for me. And if they become a bit of a nuisance, then what Joe and I can do is just say, well, we're not going to use them on stream. But I think it's incredible. I think the game is phenomenal. I think it is... The amount of people that have got in touch with me who have played it after I'd been talking to them about the preview, after NDA, but up until the release on Saturday, they hadn't. Obviously, there's 3 weeks of NDA. Close friend of mine, and he messaged me today and went, "I need to play more of this game. It's so fucking good." I was like, "Yep, told you. It's incredible. It's so well, amazing, right?" Anywho, back to the topic. Thank you for the super chat, dude. By the way, thank you for the 5. Abaddon, right? So 1,899. It sparks a discussion in the Only Things. Okay, so he's $1,900 without shipping and taxes. Okay, it just sparks a discussion in the Only Things as to whether it's worth it or not, or whether that was ridiculous in terms of cost. Now, I've always been I've also been an advocate for value in anything at all is a subjective. It's a subjective measurement, right? So I can find value in a particular brand of phone that someone else doesn't find value in. I can find value in fucking hell, help me out here. A type of.
I'm tuning into. How will I know? I can't help you, babe. I'm bopping away.
Oh yeah, okay, right, good,
Yeah,
super helpful.
you.
Jesus Christ. Value is subjective, right? What I'm getting at is value is subjective. So depending on who you are, depends on whether you think something's valuable or not. I'm a person who is an absolute sucker, a monumental sucker, in fact, for collector's editions. I absolutely think collector's editions are worth it. I see the value in collector's editions. I like being one of those people that has one in something. I have a motorbike next door that is a collector's edition motorbike. It's one of 1,600 made worldwide, and they won't be making any more in that same colour scheme, in that same bike. One of 1,600 worldwide. And I was like, I personally see the value in that, and I really fucking like it. So I looked at Abaddon at $1,900, and I'll be honest with you.
Had a kid on Wednesday.
You did?
Yeah.
It really is 2024, isn't it? Congratulations to Son of Olympia for his 17th child. I don't know how many it is, but it's definitely more than 4.
I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say it's the 3rd one.
It's definitely more than 4.
Really? Have we got another Asbo?
How many is that, Mr. Son of Olympia? Time for the snipser. But congratulations anyway, dude. You're a hero. Hope baby and mum are doing very, very well. Lots of hugs, right? So honestly, I think personally, I looked at that $1,900 price tag, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't like, what the fuck are they thinking? It's one of 700 that we made. They'll never make them again. It's 3 feet tall as a collector's edition hand-painted statue, right? 50 hours. Let's do some maths. This is going to be interesting, right? I'm going to get my little calculator out. I'm going to take $1,899 and divide it by 50. $37.90. So $38 an hour to paint that thing, if you just consider the painting cost.
So it's a 50-hour job.
50 hours. So Mr. the Star Pilot's in Tacoma today, right? They've got one there on display.
Okay.
And they've put photos in the Discord, and they've said in person it is fucking incredible, right? So it's a 50-hour. They told Star Pilot that it's a 50-hour job to paint the thing, right?
This hobby is crazy expensive. I find it odd that old models almost never drop in price. I love GW models, but the price, variety, and quality of third-party models makes me not buy as much GW product.
Perfectly acceptable, Evan. Thank you so much for the $10, man. But that's where your value is different to other people's, right? I think Games Workshop plastic models are far superior to anything else that exists, personally, right? So I think there's more value there. But it's does it come unpainted? No, it comes fully painted. It comes fully hand painted. It says that in the article.
Would you want to paint it?
No. Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
I think the idea of painting a 3-foot Abaddon is amazing, and I'd love the idea of doing that. But
what if?
And there'd be painters out there that would do a good job, without doubt.
Yeah.
But the fact that it comes hand painted, I as a collector's edition, I prefer the fact that it comes hand painted from Weta.
Yeah.
Because it's a collector's edition, right? This is literal Weta work. They've done the work on this. The same people that painted the models for Lord of the Rings, that were in the film. If you ever watch the extended edition behind the scenes content, which actually, honestly, Luce, for someone who likes film and movies, I would argue that the behind-the-scenes content is probably going to be more interesting to you than the actual films, because how they make the thing is fucking really interesting. And the Weta Workshop are all over the behind the scenes. They were involved in all the modelling and stuff that all the stuff that exists in the Lord of the Rings films, right?
And they're doing square dancing over there. It sounds very fun.
I'm sorry, but we've got to earn a Gandalf.
Sad. Do you not hear how fun it sounds? That's square dancing
I don't know that
music.
song.
Oh.
I don't know that song. I can hear it though. It is slightly off-putting. But there's no fucking way I'm shutting the doors and windows, because I will be dripping, right? So yeah, if you think $38 an hour is what, 28 to 30 pounds an hour to paint from basically a person who is considered industry leading.
Okay.
I'd say that's value.
Yeah.
That hasn't taken into consideration. So it takes them 50 hours to paint it. That hasn't taken into consideration the actual value of the model itself before it's painted. The design hours, the sculpting hours, getting it built.
Is it resin?
I don't know what it's made of. I have no idea. So I actually think, genuinely...
Medic can hear it.
Can you actually? I actually genuinely think that if you really take a minute, step back and think the amount of time it took to design, the amount of time it took to build and sculpt and get it ready, and then it took 50 hours to paint it, and you're paying a person who is considered top of their field because Weta Workshop, and you're paying them only £30 an hour, right? I've charged more than that in the past for work when I'm not top of my field. £30 an hour. I would argue at that point, the value at $1,900 isn't that bad as a collector's edition if you're into that kind of thing. And in fact, they even let you payment plan it over 8 months if you really want to.
See, that for me, that's it. If you need to payment plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I think that's my perceived value of something. Of if I need to payment plan it and I didn't save for it, do I really value it enough to want it? Because I can find value in a penny if somebody I love gave it to me to keep safe.
If I looked at that model though, this is the thing. If I looked at that model, I was like, I actually don't feel that the price is unreasonable. And if I save for the next 10 months, I definitely easily, comfortably have enough for it. But it's limited edition. In 10 months, it might be gone. I'd be okay taking the payment plan. There are scenarios. So I don't like the fact that you can go on Element and you can put 500 quid worth of stuff in your shopping basket and then pay via Klarna. I don't like that. Like, that's not limited edition shit. It's not going anywhere. Just wait, save the money, buy it when you have the cash, right? But this is limited edition that there's only 700 being made worldwide. There is a possibility in the Warhammer universe that 700 lunatics will buy Abaddon, right? If I had that kind of spare, honest to God, if I had that kind of spare, actually spare, not savings in case we have a bad week streaming, actually spare, I would probably buy Abaddon and put him in the studio as decoration.
In the studio, for me, that would make sense. But I think...
But he'd go behind like a little rope, little red velvet rope, right?
Would you do like the curtains where somebody pulls the drawstring?
He'd go behind the velvet rope. We'd put him in the corner of the podcast setup behind a little velvet rope. No one can go near him. Pain of death if you touch him.
You should electrocute the...
right.
Electrify
100%,
the perimeter.
Yeah. And then have a camera pointed at Joe's fucking trunk every time he turns up, because I know what he's like. But I would have one in a heartbeat. I'm not going to. I can't. I collect paperweights. An example for an addict. Hang on, wait. I collect paperweights. I need a 3-foot Power Ranger rip-off. It's not a rip-off, Kai. We've just been through this, Kai. Listen to me. The value's good. Weta Workshop, best in the business. Well, the value's good. Value's subjective. So when I say the value's good, that's in my opinion, obviously. Best in the business, quite literally. I'm going to wait for Celestine. Titus was amazing, so I don't doubt that Celestine will be incredible. 100% Mandy. Like I said, I got sidetracked onto the Lord of the Rings figures, and the business can't afford it, Bobo. We absolutely can't. I wish. If we get 200 members, we can get a Gandalf.
Almost never make the streams these days, so here's monies for the EOS fund.
Aww.
Genuinely loving the EOS hype from you, Joe and Brom. More please. Also, Luce, if you could play any EOS army, what would it be? Big love guys X.
If you could play any AOS army. You'd have to go on the website and have a look through them.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
I've got Shania Twain on now.
Have they?
Sounds so fun over there.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's a very 2024 song if you think about it, that one.
I wonder, whoever's in charge of the music, are they from our generation? Because it's very reminiscent.
No, Man, I Feel Like a Woman is a very 2024 song now.
AOS, so would this be on Games Workshop?
You would walk in on that awkward moment of walking on a Joe snogging it. Yeah. So go to the Warhammer website, right? It'll be called Warhammer.com.
Oh, I typed in Games Workshop.
Yeah, it should find it anyway. If they've got their redirects on smart, then it should find it. And then you'll hang on. I'm going to do this with you because I know what you're like with websites.
I'm not an invalid.
Across the top, it literally says Age of Sigmar. Click on Age of Sigmar, and then on the left-hand side it says shop.
To choose English. Hold on.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Right. So sorry, Age of Sigmar at the
Yeah,
top.
click Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side it says shop by alliance. There's 4 alliances: Order, Death, Chaos, and Destruction.
Right.
You click on any of the alliances, and then you'll have the factions, and you have to look through the factions. Right, so you've got some time. He's paid £20. You can spend some time looking through and finding the faction you like.
I clicked order and there's...
Order's got the most. Everyone
Nine.
Else has got 4 or 5. Order's got the most. I ordered Titus as soon as it was available because I thought the limited one would sell out, but it still hasn't. No regret though, since the funds are available. Yeah, if I had the funds, Mandy, I'd have Titus and Abaddon, and I'd have Celestine all in the studio. 100% if I had the funds. But we don't. We have bills to pay, unfortunately.
I've immediately fallen down a trap.
But, devil's advocate, you're a streamer. Your money paid out for Abby would get the channel a new army for AOS of 40k. 100% we, man. Absolutely. And this is my point, right? So the business right now isn't in a place where it can pre-order it. And even if it was in a place where it could pre-order it, I'd be looking at that and be like, I could buy a Daughters of Cain army, or I could buy a, I don't know, a Head Knights of Slanesh army, or I could buy a new, I don't know, think of a faction we don't have in the studio, Tau army or something, you know. That's honestly 100%, that's where my mind goes. Like, I'd have to have it as disposable to be able to be justified buying it, which is not something that, you know, we have at the moment. It's not something we justify, so. Value is 100% subjective, but the man hours that go into making that model must be substantial. It looks incredible. Well, exactly, Icy Junior. So they've said in Tacoma, according to Starpilot, that it's minimum 50 hours to paint one. It doesn't consider the development time to actually build the fucking thing in the first time. Right? 50 hours to paint. We worked it out, $38 an hour, which is £30 an hour for a company that are top of their field and considered by most as the best in the world at doing what they're doing. It's definitely cheaper. In fact, I could tell you this as a fact. It's definitely cheaper than a fully painted siege army. Andrew, just Kai's on the wind up, all right? If you get Abby, then you need a permanent live stream of him sitting in the corner as additional CCTV. If I got Abby, yeah, we'd put 24/7 Twitch stream on Abaddon. We'd just have Abby cam up the whole time. And you just every now and again you just see Joe's face coming in. That would be it, right? It's 49 hours I spent ogling him, 100%. I've got a question for you all. So we've got 140 people watching, right? First of all, I haven't pressed these magical buttons, and apparently if I don't press the magical buttons, no one actually presses fucking like. Because we've got 140 people watching and 60 likes, okay? Click, click, ding. Nod, do it now for me, please. Okay, let's see that race to 100. So, what is for you, chat, what is your most wild purchase that you're comfortable talking about? What is your most wild purchase that you were like, probably shouldn't, but I really want it? Have you ever had one? Have you ever had a I probably shouldn't, but I really want it moment? I imagine for you it's like little bits of independent jewellery or something.
Jewellery's an investment though.
No, but it is, but it's still money out the bank at that point.
Especially because I don't really buy jewellery from... I like to go into pawn shops and vintage places because that jewelry, apart from having tons of character, the guy behind the counter can actually tell me about it in terms of the value of it is dropping at the moment, so as an investment piece might not be, but it's pretty. Whereas let's say I go into Argos for some jewelry,
Argus.
they can't tell me anything about it.
Warhammer rated anything goes. $1,500 tattoo, says Aaron. Was it worth it though? Do you regret it? USC Millennium Falcon. What's that one? A Hayabusa engined old shape mini custom by Z Cars in Hull. Fucking, that's extreme, Gaz. No, pawn shops, Star Pilot, not pawn shops. PAWN is the version you're looking for. Using my student loan for this hobby. I paid $6,000 for a vinyl. What was the vinyl? I bought an $8,500 dress that I wore once. Was that your wedding dress, Melissa? By any chance? Yeah. $800 Lego AT-AT. That doesn't. I want the AT-AT. I bought Rivendell, which was 400 and something pounds, and the lighting kit for it, which is another £100. That was incredible investment. I got so much joy putting that together. Granted, if you watch me put the lighting kit together, that was less of a fun story. But I got so much joy putting that together that Lego's never a bad investment. What I want to know also, so whilst you're telling me Pink Floyd, okay, that makes sense. Whilst you're all telling me about your like extravagant expenditure, I want to know also whether you regret it or not.
I regret one of my jewellery purchases.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
So I invested in a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
So the cameo's real, and obviously it's mounted on yellow gold, which was made in 1977. It's got all the hallmarks on it, but the claws are too soft. So every now and again, the claws lift up, and when I wear it, if I'm wearing tights or any kind of chiffon thing, it'll snag. Pisses me off. I wish I'd never bought it.
Yeah.
So I'm strongly considering pawning it back in, putting it back into circulation so someone else can get pissed off by it.
They're now singing Sweet Caroline, yeah. Chromatic Moons, 4,500 on a PRS custom. What's a PRS? I don't know what that is. We've got some grey names in chat tonight, team, right? We've got 18 members so far and grey names. If you're a grey name and you want to be gifted a membership, ! Snipe me. All one word, ! Snipe me. And you might get lucky that one of our beautiful regulars might try and gift you a membership and get you involved in the channel, into the Discord, involved in all the content, etc. Or, if you want to, you can ! Member and become a member all by yourself. All of our content ends up being free at the moment. Some behind the scenes stays behind the paywall for algorithm purposes, but all of our main content stays free because I think it's more valuable that you get to choose whether you do or don't pay for what we're producing for you, rather than we say you must pay it. We're going to give you 1 free video a week and 3 paid ones. You must pay it, and it might be content shit. PRS is a guitar. Paul Reed Smith. Ah. How much was that? How much was your PRS? 4,500. That is a lot. Pete, thank you for the 5 gifted. It's also amazing to see new names gifting as well, by the way. Beautiful hero on Apple, so no money. So, yeah, well, don't gift on Apple. Brian Garrett Knight. What was the 9,500 for the pair? No regrets other than I had to stay behind and be dad. Sent my wife and her best friend to the Super Bowl in 2019, the first of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl wins. Oh, amazing. Incredible. If you've super chat as well, people, Amy will read it out. We fixed her. Didn't realize how expensive model trains are. I regret purchasing a full night house. Well, almost. I've had the model 2 years, haven't started them. Well, I mean, you possibly could make that money back, maybe, and kind of, I guess. £250 for a Hornby model train for my dad's birthday. Jesus, spent $2,000 on a printer that wasn't so much as wanted as thought it would work for my business. It did not. Sent my wife. Oh, we've read that one already. Warhammer an absolute regret because I have no time for it anymore. 12,000 for a rifle, no regrets. £12,000 for a rifle. 10k on a road bicycle. An actual pedal one. You paid 10 grand and didn't get an engine, Jason. I have a few rare things, but none of them have been very expensive.
12k on a road bike. To regret is to live in the past.
If you bought it, at some point you were like, this is good value. Hold on to that moment. Thank you so much, Grimdark Mark, for the 5 as well.
Living in West Sussex, when is the hobby house going to open? Need a local hobby space to play tournaments.
Oh, Kevin, please. I'd love to tell you. We're hoping this year. We don't know. We don't know. I think we're very, very close to agreeing the lease and signing it. I think we're close to agreeing the lease and signing it. Which, if that's the case, then we will be racing to get it open. Absolutely racing to get it open. Spent $400 £400 in a strip bar. It's an investment, probably, maybe. Collector's edition of Space Marine 2 with a statuette of Titus grappling and Nid is £230. Seems far more reasonable now. It does, yeah. I bought the 2015 Lancer Evo final edition for $40,000. I don't regret it. Ended up trading it in after having kids for a van. Essentially paid $6 grand to drive it for 5 years. Aww. I'd be sad to let that go. I've got to the point with my bikes now where I'm like, Luce, if we fall on hard times, I'm selling the car first, and we'll just walk everywhere.
We love the bus. We'd be fine.
Yeah. Is there a setting that I have to have on to be gifted membership, or am I just in it? You do. You have to have gifted turned on. I can't remember how you do it though. It's been so long. 100k into paying parents' rent. It's less of an extravagant collector's edition purchase that day, Leon, right?
That's more of a very lovely thing to do.
Does 42k on magic cards count? Melissa, that's not in one purchase though, right? It's not one card. I bought some Great Hall dice. Fuck, that was a mistake. All ones. We made sure that we only sent you the ones that roll ones, Kai. We did that on purpose. I got loose. She spent, what, 7 to 8 days testing all of the dice. Yep. All 1,000 of them. And then all the ones that statistically rolled all ones in one packet for you.
Gandalf Fund.
Oh, thanks, Pete. It's a slow one tonight, though, mate. I don't think it's going to happen, but I appreciate you. I spent $800 at a strip club. I do regret that. I really want to hobby, but it's too hot. It is probably too hot for hobby and chat. Put your paintbrushes down. Get your fucking beer, wine, cider, mead. Get drinking. And click the $sign. Most expensive purchase is my wife's engagement ring. Don't regret it one bit.
Aww.
But it was more than my car I've owned. To be fair, all my cars have been cheap as fuck. You were doing so well to add that in at the end, Dempsey. Like, her engagement ring was really expensive because it was more expensive than all my cars. But my cars are all shit. Just a collection over 3 years. That's quite a lot. I have over 800 servers and about 1,200 end users. What do you do, Jason? Jesus. I'm trying to get my husband to sell his cards. He has several that are over $100. What, per card? I am completely naive to the magic scene, Mandy, to be honest with you. Completely like naive to the magic scene. I know some things are expensive. I know there's some cards that have gone for a lot of money, but I'm very naive to it. $800 on a litter box for the cats. £800 for a litter box. £800 for a litter box?
Right, I've only had a look through Cities of Sigmar. And I quite like... No, wait. That was the wrong one. So...
You've looked at one army?
No, I said it wrong. So I've looked at...
Order,
that's it. And then I like Lumineth Realm Lords.
That's a good choice.
But I think I like the colours. And then I fell down the trap of... Mine won't look like that.
Lumineth is my favourite AOS model range.
Because I won't achieve the colour palette, do I actually like them? Probably not.
Lumineth is a great model range. They're a beautiful model. One of my favourites, if not my favourite AOS model range. Good taste. Thanks, babe. You did good there.
On to death.
Death.
Okay.
It's Joe's favourite factions are in death.
Well, there's much less.
Yeah, I told you that everything else is death.
Oh no.
Did you hear that someone spent £800 on a litter box?
What?
Nobody said. Well, somebody said, but nobody said. £800 on a litter box for the cats.
Why?
At this point, I hope the litter box wiped its arse. Little arm comes up.
Is it one of those Japanese toilet litter boxes? Because I think that'd be cool. I'd probably pay 800 to see that show, that water feature going on. No, the cat would never go in there then. Cats are fussy like that.
I don't know what my... I don't know if I have an extravagant purchase that I regret. Children?
We're not allowed to say.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have an extravagant... I like... The thing is, when I want something, I really fucking want it. So when I get it, I'm like, yes, I fucking got that thing. Normally because it takes a while to get to a point where you've got it, right? So I don't feel like I have one where I have a massive regret, actually. If I'm honest with you. Those are self-cleaning litter boxes. Oh my lord.
Self-cleaning?
Litter robot. Those litter robots are well worth the money. I have one for my cat. I've got a better option for all of you. It's much cheaper than the litter box, right? Much cheaper than the litter box. Don't have cats. They're shit. Solved your problem. No litter box required. No litter box required at all.
You know what would be cool? A chess set that's Warhammer.
I reckon that's
That'd be cool.
something someone's done somewhere.
Yeah.
I reckon you could 3D print chess pieces that are Warhammer themes.
Yeah.
Boo, destruction is the way forward. 19,000 on a Tama drum kit signed by Metallica.
What?
Tattooed Zoologist has just monumentally climbed up the ranks in my books. $19,000 on a Tama drum kit signed by Metallica. Any advance on 19 grand? Because at that point, signed by Metallica, I'd be too terrified to play it.
Oh no, you couldn't play it.
Exactly.
Imagine being the person that broke the drum.
Justified it by working out it saves £10 of litter every month, so it adds up.
Right, I've had a look in Joe's favourite.
Wasn't there a Horus Heresy chess set? I don't know,
Great.
actually. I have no idea, Andrew. If I think maybe.
So my favourite in the death group
Yeah.
is one model from Soul Blight Gravelords
Joe will like you.
called... I'm going to say this wrong. Ivia Volga, the Outcast.
Ivar.
It's like, looks a bit Halloween-y. I kind of
Okay.
like it.
Soul Blight Gravelords are vampires, essentially.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, vampires. Soul Blight Gravelords. Yeah. So far we've got Lumineth, which is probably my favourite Order faction.
Yeah.
Soul Blight, which is Joe's favourite Death faction. You're doing well here.
And now we're on to Chaos.
Lucy's making good choices.
Oh, there's 8. This is going to take me forever.
And she whinges a lot. Luce is a SBG stan. We stan Luce.
What?
Kaz has been drinking. Just 12 clan rats to go to build or paint. I have 4 cats and 2 are really dumb. They'd get stuck and killed by the little robot. But then you'd have 2 cats. It'd be cheaper, Pete, right?
Oh, there's only 2?
2 what?
What the hell is that? Chaos Spawn? Oof.
It's what you see in Southampton on a Saturday night.
That's, stuff of nightmares, that is.
I think so far we've had the peak at 19,000 on a drum kit, chat. I don't think we're gonna get Gandalf loose.
Maybe you can save up for the next one.
The next Gandalf.
Yeah, the next one.
I panic bought Aldi special dark chocolate digestive biscuits. Regret that buy, says Dave B. Panic bought Aldi special dark chocolate. Fuck off, Dave. Call yourself an M&M fan and you don't know what Stan... Well, I know what Stan is, but that sentence didn't make any sense. You can't write a northern sentence and be like, that's English, and then expect everyone to understand it, Kaz. Jesus. A sugar crash on the way. I had some ice cream earlier for the first time in a very long time, and it made my teeth hurt because of sugar. I was like, I used to buy, a long time ago, I used to buy a pot each for Luce and I of Ben & Jerry's, right? And I would comfortably eat that pot in a whole half and then sometimes just keep going, but other times the next day eat the other whole half. I reckon I've taken about that much off the top. Because I've cut sugar out completely in the last 3 months. I reckon I've taken about that much off the top, and I was like, I said to Luce, I've got to put this back in the freezer. I can't fucking eat it. It's too sweet. 24.5k on a mint Audi S5. I had an Audi S5. I had one in pearlescent purple. It's fucking beautiful. Do you remember that car?
Yeah.
Oh, loved it. They've just announced the new S5s, actually, because the A4s and A5s are going electric, so the S5s are now the 3-litre V6 petrol version. And they've announced a brand new S5 Avant that they've never done before. And my attention has been piqued. Oh, Mr. the Son of Olympia has sent us a picture of his baby for you.
Do you know what I'm enjoying about AOS? Look at the baby.
He does also say, 6th kid. Go on, what are you doing about AOS? Tell me. Talk to me, Goose.
Any mods... Hang on. I might be corrected. Any model, this seems to be a female, doesn't seem to be that sexualized. And I kind of like that.
Have you clicked on Head Knights of Slaanesh yet?
Yeah. I'm on
and
that
Daughters
now.
of Cain?
Oh, I haven't done Daughters of Cain. Are they
yeah, they're
like...
in order. You would have done them in their order.
Oh.
Okay, well, it's approval. No rerolls, yeah.
I just kind of got a bit bored that anytime I looked at 40k, any model that was female just seemed to be very, like, yeah, we get it, that's a girl, alright.
Luce doesn't like girls looking like girls. Not a fan. They've all got to be strong like ox.
No, it's not.
Strong like ox.
I don't know. I guess it's just one more avenue that femininity is sexualized. So being female equals sexy, not strong, not intelligent, just sexy.
Should be grateful.
Stop it.
Us guys would love for like guys is sexy. We'd love that. Love it. Being a guy is sexy. Great, thanks. Finally, at last.
It is sexy.
Really look at the new Honda Prelude. I'd rather not. It's a Honda. Husband just called from the gun show. Is he watching fucking Anchorman? I told him about Abaddon. He said if he wasn't World Eaters or if it was Khan, this wouldn't be a conversation. Fair, but it's a fair. Luce likes girls who look like men. Good job, it's 2024, isn't it? I spent 2,500 on a 2-week trip to South Africa back when I was in uni. It was amazing going through Kruger Park and staying in a wildlife rehabilitation nature reserve. Sounds incredible. If we're going highest price tag, my TV was £5,000. Had it nearly a decade at this point, and I still have people saying it looks better than theirs. So absolutely no regrets. Lol, go OLED. My TV was incredibly expensive, and it is fucking beautiful. And it's so incredibly beautiful that the kids get to play video games on it whilst we sit in the office. But my monitor was also incredibly expensive because I could justify that as a business expense. And the monitor is arguably better than my TV. And I now have an Apple TV box plugged into my monitor, and I'll sit in here watching TV because it's probably better than my TV and my monitor.
Yeah, I worry that you're too close.
I can't be too close. It's impossible. That, like, square eyes thing, nonsense.
It's
nonsense,
a myth.
isn't it? They've now got VR goggles, for fuck's sake. We were told as kids, for years we were told as kids, don't sit too close to the TV, your eyes will go square. So what do they do in 2024? They invent devices that you put here. Nonsense. Nonsense words. Good afternoon from the Pacific Northwest. Good afternoon, Liam. How are you doing? More grey names, chat. Exclamation mark gift. We're stuck on 23. The train has not even left the station. Drakari females are less sexual than Sisters of Battle. Maybe that's just me. I think you're probably right there, actually. Have you seen Sigvald?
No, I haven't yet.
Sigvald is in...
There was one
Knights?
model... Oh, is it Castus? Something...
I also dropped £250 on AOS at the weekend due to your hype. Yeah! It's fucking great. It's absolutely great. Yeah, my daughter probably uses it more than I probably have to at this point. Family investment night. Yeah. Well, I mean, Luce and I get to enjoy it on our date nights on Saturday night.
What, the telly?
Yeah. Yeah.
I really miss live TV and adverts.
Really?
Yeah, I really miss it.
That's interesting.
I think TV on demand has made I think it's made a lot of difference in the boys and their ability to be sort of interrupted.
Okay.
So adverts were great for things like using the loo, making cups of tea, letting the dog out.
I remember when I were a lad, right? It's a while ago now, obviously, because I'm fucking 37 years old and nearly dead. When I were a lad, I remember you would sit as like, let's say, an 11-year-old boy, for sake of argument, right? 12-year-old boy, secondary school for me. And you sit in the living room on Saturdays and you'd watch Saturday night TV. And you'd have shows that you knew these shows would be on, and you'd sit and watch that Saturday night TV, or you, any night for that matter, you'd sit and you'd watch a series of shows with your mum and dad in the living room. And if it was on ITV, which for those of you in the US, we've got a number of live TV, we used to have a number of live TV channels. The BBC typically didn't have advertisement because that's paid for by a thing that we have to pay called a TV license. And if you can receive a TV signal in your house, you have to pay a TV license, whether you think the BBC are a fucking crock of shit or not. And I do, in fact, by the way, think the BBC are a crock of shit. But I have to pay a TV license, and I think I watched 1 or 2 of the England games this last tournament on BBC. Sucks. Fucking absolutely sucks. But TV license should be abolished. ITV, however, like most TV channels and most broadcasters, they make their dollar by advertisement, by putting ad breaks in content. It's not quite as crazy as American ad breaks, but they put their ad breaks on live television. And I remember sitting there, honestly, and you'd watch a show like a Britain's Got Talent. It wasn't that back then, but something like Noel's House Party was one that we used to watch.
Generation Game.
Generation Game was one we used to watch, yeah, absolutely. And you'd have ad breaks. And my dad was one. I fucking love him, but fuck, he's an old-fashioned cunt. He was the person who'd so the heating would be set in the winter. The heating would be set to go on about 5:30 in the morning, because he would get up at 6 for work. So it would come on, it'd be on for half an hour. So when he got out of bed, it wasn't quite so cold. And it would go on at 5:30 in the morning or something, and it'd be on for like 2 hours to warm the house through, and then it would go off again. So we'd be getting out, the house was warm, but it would just slowly get colder.
I don't understand why he'd put the heating on in the morning. You're about to open all the windows to get fresh air.
So then once the heating went off and we got up in a warmer house, and we all got up in a slightly warmer environment, he'd then open all the windows to freshen the house up, right? We'd then go to school.
What a
right?
waste.
Honestly, we'd come home, the heating would go on roughly around the time we all came in from school and work, right? Be on for a couple of hours to warm, maybe an hour to warm the house through. That would be it off again. And then in the evening time, we'd have dinner around the table, right? And I've told you this before. Me and my brother I'd sit here. My brother would sit to my left. My dad would sit opposite me. My mum would sit diagonally from me. I think that was the way around it was, at least. And we weren't really permitted to talk at the dinner table. You'd
quiet, boy.
You sit there and you eat your fucking dinner and you'd be quiet, right? And Dad would talk about his work day, but you would sit there and you'd eat your dinner. You can't put your elbows on the table. No singing at the table. Can't sing. Not allowed to sing at the table. Fucking banned.
Jesus Christ.
He'd get pissy.
School of hard knocks.
So you spoke back then. You spoke when you were spoken to. There was such a thing as respect, right?
Yes, let's beat it into them.
So we'd have dinner, and then it'd be like bath times and shit, and then everyone would be in the living room or the lounge, whichever you prefer to call it, to watch this shit TV, because we didn't have fucking like Netflix and Disney and Amazon TV, all that shit then. And then there'd be ad breaks and etc. And the ad breaks would be where you would literally, like you say, you'd go and refill your drink or go to the bathroom or whatever you would do, right? And what we would do, so he'd have the heating off. I'm talking height of winter now. Have the heating off. We had a fireplace, a proper old-fashioned fireplace in my living room. It wasn't a big one, but he would light the fire just before everyone, and we'd have this fucking coal fireplace roaring, right? The dog would lay so close to the fireplace, you could see a fur smoking because she's so close to this fucking thing. And you sit in this, and he would shut the door. You want to hear the fucking noise he made if you walked out the living room door and left the door open. You're letting the heat out! And then bang, the door would come closed, right? So
this is not the version of my father-in-law that I know.
It's not, no.
Is it because I'm a girl?
Possibly. And so, but you would get up to go to the bathroom. You'd come out the living room and you'd be like, fuck, it's cold out here. You'd go upstairs, use the bathroom, run back down and shut the door again. It's only I'm only talking like 25 years ago, if that, for fuck's sake. This is how old yeah, it was fucking, honestly. And then you go up to bed, and you go up, and it'd be fucking freezing cold. Go up, you get into bed, you pull your duvet and your sheet over, and my dad would tuck you in so tight you couldn't fucking move.
Do you know?
Because it's the only way you could get warm.
I thought you were such a posh boy because you mentioned a sheet. I was like, what is this? Why do you have 2 sheets? The one that goes over the mattress, that's it. That's all the sheets you have. No, that's the fitted sheet.
You have a fitted sheet, a flat sheet, and then a duvet.
What is a flat sheet? What the fuck is this?
Yeah. And he would pin you in with the flat sheet. He would use the flat sheet to literally pin you to the mattress, So you fucking couldn't move, and then he put the duvet on top as well, so that the flat sheet would be tucked under the mattress onto the bed frame thing, right? And then the duvet would go over to keep you warm, and you'd be fucking pinned in flat. And I reckon there was nights where I went to sleep like that and woke up like that as well. Didn't fucking move. Honestly. And you know what? You know what? Fucking great childhood I had. Loved it.
This version of my father-in-law that you're talking about, I don't recognise it at all.
Good old-fashioned fucking discipline. We're missing a lot of it nowadays.
So your dad, for me, the stories come out now.
Annie told me that folk complain hour-long anime shows getting loaded on Crunchyroll for only 40 minutes. They couldn't work out ads took 20 meters.
Fucking hell. Thanks, Kaz. Oh, Jesus Christ, I've missed a load of stuff. Sorry, Liz, quickly. Thank you so much. Chrysander for the 1 gifted membership. Ginger Yeti for the 1 gifted membership. Jacob for the 1 gifted membership. Ebb Flo for the 1 gifted membership. Mark Bell for the 1 gifted membership. Liam became a member. Not me. Other Liam became a member. And then Grimdark Mark dropped his yogurt and gifted 10 memberships.
You're not saying it right.
No, I am saying it right.
Grimdark Mark.
That's the tracker's wrong though. We're actually on 39, chat. We are 61 away from target. We're 161 away from Liam getting a Weta Workshop Gandalf. That's what we all want, innit? All of us want that for me. Go on. The version of your father-in-law.
Yeah, so your dad doesn't call me Luce. He calls me Kid.
Yep. He's a pet name person.
You're right, Kid.
All right, Kid.
Yeah.
Yep. Because you looked at me really weird because I call everyone who's a female persuasion sweetheart.
Yeah.
You looked at me very weird when I used to do that in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Yeah, Kid or Mush.
Mush is a southern thing.
Yeah.
It's a Southampton word.
He's like, he embodies granddad's. He's always on about golf because he golfs. And he'll talk about how bad the traffic is, the weather, and how his runner beans are doing all right. Like this version is who you're talking about is not.
If
the version
we were
I
naughty,
know.
he would make us stand against the wall.
No, I won't have it.
So we'd have to face the wall, literally, so your nose was near enough touch.
I won't have it.
And you weren't allowed to look away. Like your head had to face the wall, and he would make you stand. So it's the same house they're in now,
Yeah.
but you know where the living room is. He'd make you stand just outside the living room door, facing the wall, so you could hear the TV, but you couldn't see it.
Nope, I won't have it. Nope. No.
You fucking stand by that wall.
No, I don't believe you. You're lying.
My mother was a person. My mother was a person that if you used, this is going to be ironic for a lot of you. My mother was a person that if you used foul language, she would literally wash your mouth out with hand soap.
Has she heard you?
Actual bar of soap.
So that worked then.
Yeah, actual bar of hand soap, right? And she was also the person that if we really misbehaved, we'd get whacked across the back of the legs with a wooden spoon.
No.
She broke so many of those. So many. My brother and I grew up in a fucking disciplined house.
Yes, and you say cunt at least 10 times a day, so that worked.
I mean, that was probably the military, to be honest with you, rather than my upbringing.
I might ask him.
I'm also perfectly
good old
able.
Grandad Treasure, come here.
I'm also perfectly able to switch the language off at any moment, as you well know.
Yeah.
You heard me switch on business meetings.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible. But yeah, the thing is though, we were taught as kids. We were taught to within reason respect your elders, right? Mm-hmm. Because they are older than you. They've lived a life and they have experience that you don't have. We were told to be polite, to use manners at every possible opportunity, and to always use manners, because even if the person you're dealing with doesn't use manners, you've used them. After they then have not reciprocated, you can kind of stop. So it's not like you continue to be the better person type of scenario, but we're taught to respect the elders, always use manners. We were taught you hold doors open for women, you pull seats out for women.
Yeah.
We were taught all this, and I think, controversially, there's a lot of this shit that's missing nowadays. Which chivalry going missing is really quite sad in my opinion.
Yeah, especially as R2 are very chivalrous because they watch you do it. So you're modelling the behaviour that they're then copying because you're their blueprint.
I don't fucking care what year we're in. I will raise proper young men.
The one I have trouble with is the respecting your elders.
Yeah.
Because having manners shouldn't be exclusive to respecting your elders.
Agree.
So when the elders are rude for no reason, it is really hard for then, especially when James looks at me as if to say, that was rude. And when I say, yes, it was rude.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Was it deserved, though?
Yeah, and then it comes up so often, but respect your elders. Yeah. Well, why should I? Yeah, fair argument. They were rude for no reason, for the assumption that you're going to be a snot-nosed toe rag.
Yep.
Which isn't fair.
Well, I mean, and this is where part of the problem. This is where part of the problem comes in, right? The assumption that young people are going to be a snot-nosed toe rag nowadays. Where does the I've said this forever. I'm gonna upset people here, right? Where do stereotypes come from?
Real.
Stereotypes come from behaviour, right? So why potentially do old people nowadays think that young people are going to be arseholes? Because a lot of young people are arseholes. That's why.
Yeah.
And so there's a symbiotic relationship that has kind of gone away now. So old people expect young people to be arseholes because young people keep being arseholes. Your screen just got off.
No, it's all right.
Because young people keep being arseholes. And so now they default to treating them like arseholes, which means young people then go, old people are rude, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to behave like an arsehole. And you have that weird spiral that then exists. Whereas if we employed manners, etc., at that point, perhaps that symbiotic relationship returns, you respect your elders a bit more, perhaps they become a little bit more respectful of the youth as well.
But so, out of all of the things you mentioned, the respect your elders is the only one I have a trouble with. When I was younger, I don't know if maybe like the quality of elders was different, because I definitely respected my elders, and they were always lovely. They were always people that did things like they sat on their doorsteps with a cup of tea and watched out for all the kids.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
respect those people.
Yeah, definitely. But now the elders just seem to be... So they moan that kids don't climb trees anymore.
Yep.
But when the kids climb trees, they're being disrespectful
for
nature.
They get shouted
So
at.
you're like,
right?
well,
100%.
Hold on.
Absolutely.
Which one do you want us to be?
Ad says, the fact that a lot of boomers are remarkably miserable, rude and selfish makes the respect your elders thing, which I'm normally in favour of, quite difficult at times.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, Ads. I'm always a person, Luce will tell you this, I'm always a person who will approach any individual, any person, and I'll be positive first, and I'll be nice, and I'll help, and I'll be kind, and I'll be polite, and I'll use manners, and I will help the individual first. And quite often, actually, more often than I think I'd like to admit, right? Quite often, that help or kindness gets spat back in my face, and someone treats me like a fucking arsehole. And I'm like, at that point, and Lucy's like, why do you keep being nice to people? I was like, because I'd rather assume the best first, and then I learn their true colours, and then I treat them appropriately, right? But I will always treat people nicely first. There's too many people out there, like you say, who are just miserable, rude, and selfish off the bat, and I think I would agree with you. At that point, it's incredibly difficult to respect your elders at that point. I, however, will continue to treat everyone like they're a good person until they prove to me that they're not a good person. When they prove to me that they're not a good person, then I'll be an arsehole. And I want to teach my kids to be the exact same two people. I want them to treat people as if they're a good person off the bat. Assume good. I would rather the world in general assumed good and then learnt bad than assumed bad. I think one creates and breeds a much happier environment for people in general, and one is a lot more negative and cold and shut off.
The trouble is, assuming good until proven bad leaves you very vulnerable.
It does, and then you have to develop or learn to develop a sort of semi-tough skin, which is something that often nowadays you can't say that, but you do have to. If you assume good first and you do open yourself up and you do become slightly vulnerable, right? At that point, when someone proves themselves to be a fucking arsehole, at that point you have to have a bit of a tough skin and be like, okay, cool, fine. I've opened myself up, I've been vulnerable, you've been an arsehole, you've disrespected that, you've mistreated me, you've taken advantage, whatever it might be. But I've done the good thing.
But then wouldn't that then translate to, if somebody always assumed good, always, wouldn't that translate to, man, when are you gonna learn?
But it comes back to a very, very basic value, though. It comes back. I think being positive and treating people nicely comes back to an incredibly basic value that's existed for years and years and years, and yet seems to have gone away. Wee Man's already put it in chat. Treat others how you wish to be treated. Is a very basic value that a lot of people have lost and forgotten. What you project I feel like it's almost reasonable to expect to receive. And sometimes you don't receive, and then you stop projecting to those individuals who don't mirror your behaviour.
Yeah, but that's not going in there arms wide open. The world is 100% good until I'm proven otherwise. I do feel like that's what a lovely, fantastic, romantic way to want to live. It's not realistic, and you will end up being taken advantage of.
And I have done loads, and I won't change.
I think you'll be forced to change.
I don't think I will.
I think the world will start to shave you into the shape that is resilient and robust.
I'm getting shorter with people, as you know.
There you go. The world's changed you.
Did you just bang your cable?
No.
It went off.
I didn't touch it.
That happened. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Literally basic sense. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Kira says, Liam! And then he says, I will come back down and next Great Hall Saga, I'll interview you. No one wants to see me interviewed in a Great Hall Saga, Kira. Absolutely not. Buy a house for £2.50 in a Milky Way wrapper in 1982. Proceeds to block any house building for 40 plus years. You can't afford property. You're all lazy young idiots who spend money on avocado toast. Adam, don't.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. I love you, Adam. I fucking adore you, in fact. Don't get me started, sir. Please. Please. Respect is also earned and not freely given. So respect is different, John. I agree with you. Respect is very, very different. Respect is something that I struggled with massively in the military, actually. Because when you're in the military, you have a thing called a rank, right? Mm-hmm. Which realistically exists in every job in the world. You have a rank. You have a shop assistant, and then a deputy manager, and a manager, and then an area manager. You have ranks. You do. In any job, you have ranks. You have people that are in charge of people. And in the army, in the British Army specifically, which I was in, those ranks were different. You have private, you have private, lance corporal, corporal, sergeant, staff sergeant, warrant officer class 2, warrant officer class 1, and then you go into the officer ranks, right? And the army operates on a very simple basis. My rank is higher than yours. You do as you're fucking told, right? Which is fine. That is okay. I'm perfectly okay with, yes, Staff Sergeant, you are a Staff Sergeant, I am a Corporal, I will do exactly as I'm told. That's fine. That's cool. That's how that works. The difference is when they're like, when they behave like they deserve some kind of respect because they're Staff Sergeant. Now, I have a modicum of respect for the fact that they've got to that rank. So I respect the fact that they've got to that rank, and I respect the rank. Doesn't necessarily mean I respect the person.
Yeah.
That is still earned. So if a new person came into to run a workshop, say we had a new AQMS, which is a warrant officer class 2 in the British Army. Someone came in as an AQMS to run the workshop. Like, cool, we've got a new boss. And the WO2 AQMS was the person that you would call boss. We've got a new boss. Brilliant, cool. He's a WO2. So if he says to me, Corporal Dempsey, do this, you know what I do? I do it. That's what he's told me to do. That's how rank works. And I respect the rank. But I don't yet respect the person until I've worked under him for a while and I know how he treats his guys. And does he treat them well? Does he look after them? Does he behave as the shit shield that he's supposed to do? That he's supposed to be, or does he treat them like a pack of cunts? Does he have them doing hanger cleaning when he's halfway up the motorway going home for a weekend? Is he that kind of boss? One of them has deserved respect because of rank only, and then no earned respect, and one of them has both. And respect is 100% earned. I agree with that. As Liam says, I won't get him started. I don't want to read what you've... but there's a definite issue with asset-rich retirees in the UK who've had a relatively easy run in historic... I'm not going to read that. I'm not reading that, Adam. I love you. I'm not reading that. I really think it's worth doing. I think your way of approaching things and your outlook is worth exploring, explaining. You're a fucking... Oh, shut up. Shut up, John. If you never buy Starbucks, you could buy a house. Exactly. All that Starbucks we don't have loose.
Wow.
We can't buy a house because we've only got 39 members and there's 14 minutes to go. Chat. We can't buy a house down there anyway, to be fair. Actually, whether you gift 100 or not is irrelevant. I'll be honest with you. We can't afford to buy a house down there anyway. We have to rent. Unless some serious house marketing things change down here, we won't be able to afford to live down here forever. We could buy a castle in Scotland.
This is where I politely, quietly back out of the room because this is politics talk, and I know nothing.
No, this isn't politics talk.
I'm not qualified enough to talk at all. So I just go, what? There's a child that he's playing with? Okay, let's play. Kid, you're it.
But we absolutely could buy a fucking castle in Scotland, but we can't buy one down here. Have to agree with Luce here. The children have bad manners, contempt for authority. They show disrespect for elders. Kenneth John Freeman, 1907 Cambridge dissertation. I don't know what part he's agreeing with.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I said there. I don't know what I said there.
Yeah, if a manager treats me like shit, it's not respectful of the people under them, then I leave. 100% wee man, absolutely. 100%. But yeah, I think that, you know, when I talk about these hard times that we had under my parents, I said they're not hard times, but they weren't hard times. Being stood against the wall wasn't a hard time. Having the heating turned off wasn't a hard time. It was just a bit of discipline. It was just a bit of discipline. And I think, you know, our kids have a bit of discipline. They do. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's different because it's 2024. It is different, but we are installing discipline in them. We're teaching them discipline in a different way because things have developed and people have grown and we know more about the science and mentality of children, etc. But we are still disciplining them. We're still installing discipline. It's just that my dad knew a different way of doing that.
I don't believe you.
25 years ago.
I don't believe you. When we see them for your mum's birthday, I'm going to be like, Grandad.
Talvar, thank you for the one gifted. Kirioth? What are you doing, sir? Thank you for 5 gifted memberships, you beautiful fucking human being. Did you pick a new colour? The other day, I had an urge to dye the mohawk bit white.
Hey?
Yeah, I had an urge.
Like platinum blonde or actually white?
What's the difference?
Platinum blonde kind of has like a silver grey shimmer, whereas white
I'd probably say platinum blonde then. I had an urge to go that colour. Just this piece here.
Oh.
I don't know why.
The second you get roots. Welcome to the roots game.
I don't know why. I had an urge to do that.
The second you get roots, you're going to be like, hate it.
Do you know what I also needed?
Do you know what I also
needed today? I've had a really high mood day today. I've been in a really good mood. This morning, grumpy as fuck. I didn't want to get out of bed, as you know. Really grumpy. I then went for my walk. This is straight up as well, right? I woke up this morning. I was not ready to wake up. I wasn't in a place where I wanted to get up, right? So I came downstairs, I had some breakfast, I had some Greek yogurt and berries and kind of came around a bit and I was like, Lucy, I'm going to go for a walk. I want to get my steps in today. It's a nice morning. I want to go out. And I put this vest up on and my shorts on and I put my trainers on and my hat on and my headphones on and off I went. Listened to the new Eminem album. Off I went and I walked for 4-point-something miles at a relatively reasonable pace because I want to get my steps in. And I came back and I was in a fucking great mood. It's amazing the difference that made. And I've been in a good mood all day. So I was like, I want to dye my hair platinum blonde to start with, right? I wouldn't get Luce to do it, Mandy. I'd go and get someone professional to do it. No disrespect.
All disrespect. Why wouldn't you let me do it?
Will you do your own?
Only because I can't see at the back.
And then what I nearly booked her to have an ear piercing. I don't know why.
Want to get your ear pierced?
That one, yeah. Little black onyx stud.
Did you want to get like I don't know what they call it, but the hoop?
The holes?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be a person who can be hung on a curtain rail. No.
No, if you go, there's a certain size. If you go up to that size and no more, then if you don't like it, your ear will go back. If you go past that size, then you always have
Adam,
one.
thank you so much for 10 gifted. There's still appointments available tomorrow. I nearly booked one.
It hurts.
Does it?
Yeah, I think ear piercing hurts. And it's your ears as well. So when you go to sleep, it hurts. If you put your head in your hands, like when you're tired, and you knock your ear and you have to keep twizzling it. Oh, it hurts.
I was told you don't twizzle it.
Oh, I got mine done when I was 9. There was definite twizzling.
I was told you don't twizzle it because that breaks the scab and it makes it take longer to heal.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe now everyone that got their ears done in the 90s.
Midlife crisis much start, right? Let me tell you a little story, okay? 5 years ago, I had no motorbikes, not a single tattoo on my body, right? We're in fucking midlife crisis full swing and we're fully embracing it. Do you know why? Because life is too fucking short. So I don't want to be on my deathbed in another 37 years and think of all the things I could have done that I never did because I was worried about someone calling it midlife crisis.
So with your last dying breath, you're going to go, I wish I'd pierced my ear. That's the thing.
That's the thing. But the thing is as well, if you get it and you don't like it, you know what you do? Take it out. It heals.
Yeah, true.
Who cares? If I dye your hair, don't like it, you know what I do?
Yeah, I do. However, I do feel like the fact that you're trying to like double bluff this who cares, maybe you care a little bit, a smidge. Maybe you care of what people will think.
I think I worry more about what people will say, and I'm like, all right, born off with your comments. I don't care. I like it, but that's not the space I live in, unfortunately.
So then live it. Just do it then. Stop going on about it and just do it. Because then if you really didn't care, you'd already have the white hair.
Yes, I have 8 piercings. 8 piercings in my ears. Yeah, they really hurt just for a little. How long's a little? Having a Joe is like having a midlife crisis. It's true. Buy another bike. No, I've got 2. I don't want any more. Here. 3 motorbikes, 2 race bikes. I'm definitely having a midlife crisis. Midlife crisis is... Midlife crisis is the terminology invented by people who are too terrified to do the things they want to do and see other people doing the things that they want to do, and they have to give it a negative name. That's what that is. That's where the phrase midlife crisis came from.
I think I disagree.
Why?
I think it's a genuine thing.
I know. I'm sure. In terms of getting to an age where you finally have the freedom and the finances potentially to do the things, and you're rediscovering yourself, and you're perhaps free of certain burdens, etc. I think that a midlife crisis is a thing, but I think the name is given quite negative connotations. Think of the word crisis, right? Crisis.
But you are in crisis.
But are you in crisis? I don't think you are.
Because that's because you're trying to re-fucking frame it, babe. It's okay to be in a mild midlife crisis. You've realised you've had your children. You think you might have reached your peak. What the fuck next? What have I been striving for? Because I'm slowly doing it all. It's now... It's the whole what next thing. And it's okay to be in crisis. That's okay. Because it's uncharted territory.
I strongly disagree that it's crisis.
I think it's okay to be in crisis. I think crisis is useful.
I'm not disagreeing with that as a standalone statement, but I don't think it's midlife crisis necessarily needs the word crisis.
Okay, so what about if your friend is saying to you, Liam, I think I'm in a midlife crisis. I don't know what to do. And you go, I don't think that's a thing. You're now not letting him be in crisis.
I'm not saying that there is no such thing as the crisis. That's what I'm saying, though, am I? That's not what I'm saying to you. But labelling everyone that gets to this kind of age and starts making drastic changes as in crisis isn't necessarily true or fair. If someone comes and says, Liam, I think I'm in a midlife crisis, I'm not like, that's not crisis, get on with it. That's not what's going to happen at all. I'm like, okay, what's going on, dude? How are you feeling? Like, what's the problem?
So why is it okay for someone else to be in crisis
of course
and not for you
it's
to be
perfectly
in
okay
crisis?
for anyone to be in crisis if they recognise that they're in crisis, but how is it fair that someone else tells you that you're in crisis?
Because they've come to you for words of wisdom and friendly
No.
comfort.
That's not what I'm saying. How is it okay? So if I come to you and said, I'm in crisis, perfectly fine. No problems with that whatsoever, right? That might be that it's attached to midlife. Okay. But it's not fair for me to go to someone else and be like, Brom, you're in a midlife crisis. That's not fair. But no, I'm fucking loving life. Fuck off, I'm not in crisis. It's not fair for me to tell him that he's in crisis. That's the difference.
But then it's also not fair for you to tell him he's not in crisis.
But I'm not telling him he's not in crisis.
But you've just said the negative connotations. They might be choosing those words for reason.
That's fine.
So then when you go, I think it's negative connotations, shut the fuck up. If people want to call it a crisis because they're kind of like, what is next?
This is where
what
we
do I
prove
do?
categorically live on air that she's absolutely fucking terrible at listening. Right. What I'm saying to you is there is no problems with people declaring themselves as being in midlife crisis, right? There's no problems with them using that word. What's unfair is when an individual tells another person that they are in crisis. Not that I am in crisis, but that they are in crisis. That's where there's a problem, right? That's projecting.
Yes.
You've decided to go and have a tattoo or get your ear pierced or dye your hair or buy a motorbike or whatever it might be that you decided to do. You're in crisis. That person might be like, no, I'm fucking enjoying myself for the first time in a long time. I've made changes I've wanted to do for ages. I've been too afraid to do. That doesn't mean that I'm in crisis. Conversely, another individual might hit that age group and be like, I feel like life's monotonous. I feel like I'm bored. I feel like I'm not enjoying myself. At this point, I now feel like I'm in a midlife crisis where I'm going, what do? I want to make a big change. They're two very different scenarios. And it's not on an outside individual to decide for that other person whether it is or isn't a crisis. But what we do is we always apply that negative connotation, whether the individual who's experiencing that moment thinks they're in crisis or not.
But when someone of influence and authority chooses the degree of the severity of the word crisis, I feel like that can be just as detrimental. So who are you to say, I think it's got negative connotations? You are one person.
But if it's thrown at me as a person who's going through this right now, who's perfectly happy and enjoying myself, yes, absolutely, the word crisis has negative connotations for a man who's just enjoying himself.
Okay.
Right?
It just sounded like you were speaking on like a representative, the royal we. We don't think that, that's got negative connotations of like...
John says, Mum, I need the toilet. Liam, you're in crisis if you want a 3-foot Abaddon. That's goddamn crisis. Not a crisis, it's Terminator. Crisis is Tau. Loose, no, listen good. Loose, shout, chat, now scared. That was probably worth some gifted though, right? Dad, please stop. Pretty sure it was used more as a term of phrase, so to speak. I don't think it was an act of labelling. So I think you're probably right, Phil. When it was first used, I think you're 100% spot on. But the problem is it then became adopted as a detrimental or derogatory term to use as, and I think often, in my experience, there's been people where you have two people, right? Similar in age, one individual has gone, fuck it, I am not happy with how things are right now. I want to make a change, whatever that change might be, and I'm actually going to go and do it, and I'm really positive about it. The other person potentially in this scenario, that's make-believe scenario that's going on, this isn't necessarily every scenario, this other person then is like, I want to do that, but I'm too terrified to do that. I don't really feel comfortable going and doing those things, despite the fact I think I kind of want to. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell him that he's having a midlife crisis. That's the problem that I have with it. Like, oh, you're having a midlife crisis. Like, if I was spiraling and I don't know how to find myself. I don't know how to, then okay, cool. I don't necessarily think that it's irrelevant to call it potentially some form of crisis or something akin to a crisis. But if I'm like, nah, fuck it, life's too short, I'm going to go and enjoy myself, that's not a crisis. That's a person going, life's too short, I'm going to go and enjoy myself. And sometimes I feel like there are too many people out there who are too envious of others who have decided, fuck this, I'm going to go and have some fun, and I'm going to go and do some things, and I don't care what you think. I don't fucking care, because I'm whatever age it might be, 30, 35, 40, I couldn't give a shit. And I think that people get jealous of that and throw like negative words at it to be like, I'll give it this label that makes me feel better about the fact that I'm not prepared to go and make the change or do the thing that I want to do. I'm living with Joe and Luce if we have to choose. She can cook, I can't. It's a wise choice, Carl, to be fair. I'm half Liam's age. I've still yet to hit halfway through my life, so wow.
You know what I'm realising?
The problem is, Sam, is we don't know what half our life is, do we? Go on.
I've never known the midlife crisis thing be affiliated with a woman.
No, neither. No, 100%. It's always been aimed at men.
Yeah. So now.
Do you think women have it?
I don't know what that would look like.
But do you think women go through a similar kind of thing where? Because I reckon a typical man, what's classified as a typical man's midlife crisis, is man gets to an age, typically between the 30 to 40 band, I reckon, roughly, and goes, my kids are now hitting an age where we haven't got to constantly buy diapers and fucking milk and etc, 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 so there's a little bit more disposable available. I'm in a job now where I've got promoted a few times and revenue is reasonable, so we're as a family more comfortable. I'm no longer the 20-year-old self who can go out boozing every weekend with his mates. So no, I don't have that anymore. So what makes me unique? What makes me different? What makes me special? What makes me feel like I'm just me? And men go through, and it could be anything from buying a sports car, taking up a new hobby, sport, dyeing your hair and piercing your ear, getting tattoos, getting your motorbike license. Any of these things are relevant, right, to the quote-unquote midlife crisis. And I think that's what men go through at around that age because of those reasons. And I'm generalising. There's different factors that could occur, but generally that's probably why.
So,
do women go through that same stage in life though?
Double W says women have menopause, I think.
That's later though, right?
I wonder if that's
But menopause is like...
menopause is such a chapter closer on fertility and...
Yeah, is there an average age for menopause? I don't know this. I'm asking genuinely.
Oh...
Is there an average age?
Women's medicine is...
Because I assumed it was more to the 50 to 60 band for menopause typically, but I'm assuming. I don't know. This is literally a semi-guesswork.
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just getting to bedtime. That's what I'm doing. I've definitely had a period of time of... I don't think I want any more babies, but... It's sad that Ben's the last. No, this was before your vasectomy. It's sad that Ben might be the last.
Be in trouble, babe.
and then I'm at battle of, but I should want to have the babies because I can have the babies. So I'm not allowed to not want the babies, but I don't want the babies. And it was a real sort of. Do we all feel like this, but none of us say it because we do know women who can't have babies, so we daren't say it out loud. And then...
Do you think we tread on eggshells too much generally nowadays?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, we can't call a fish anymore, so just don't say anything.
But then saying that, you know, I've almost just contradicted myself because I'm saying that people shouldn't just absolutely just label other people as having a midlife crisis. There's a balance to be struck. Absolutely, there is a balance to be struck. But I think too many people. Here's a wild statement for fucking YouTube on a Friday night. I think too many people spend their lives, a lot of their lives, being too concerned about who they might offend, without even meaning to offend, with no meaning. So you've just said, right? The words just literally come out your mouth was, I can have babies, so I don't feel like I should say I don't want to have babies. Mm-hmm. Was there or thereabouts word for word what you just said.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you shouldn't say it though? Well, because there's people out there that can't have babies. So you're now worried about a person.
Someone's always got it worse than me.
So if you sat there and said I don't want to have any more children, have you made that statement in an attempt to offend someone?
So where this conversation usually comes up, ironically, it usually happens right after you've just had a baby.
But when you say the statement, I don't want to have any more children, are you trying to actively offend an individual?
No, but someone will get offended.
But who's the problem there?
I know it's the other person.
The person getting offended.
Get your nose out of my business. I've just had a baby, so piss off. But two, it's because younger women are now like, well, I don't want the white picket fence. It's a lie. Motherhood is hard. Fatherhood is hard. The whole thing's hard. And they make it look like it's this blue white picket fence, blue collared. This is lovely. 2.4 children. It's not that. It's all a lie. It's relentless hard work. It's money just down the drain because kids will only get more expensive. So now women are going, well, I don't want to do that. That looks awful. I don't want to do it. And these women are now slowly getting louder, which is great. Yeah. Because I feel like you kind of need one person to say it for the rest of the room to go, oh, she said it. Oh my God, she said it.
Yeah.
But actually, I've had two. I love them, but no more.
Yeah.
So when I have a female friend go, I don't want any. And I go, totally get it.
I get very like I've listened to people like Ricky Gervais, Jimmy Carr, Frankie Boyle, people like that about offence, and I think that offence is a problem in our modern society. Now there are people that are genuinely going out to cause offence, and that can be a problem. Like there are people that are genuinely going out to cause actual offence, be very rude and nasty to people based on a number of things, and it could be based on religion, it could be based on gender, sexual orientation, it could be based on race. That's awful, and that shouldn't be encouraged ever. But we also have a whole wave of people that just choose to be offended by something that was never meant to be offensive in the first place. And that's where I think we have a real problem. I don't think, on the whole, I don't think offence is necessarily something that is given. I think mostly it's something that is taken. So you don't give offence normally. There are exceptions. You know, you can go out and be particularly directly nasty to an individual, right? Based on, say, for example, because it's a common one, based on the colour of their skin. That person is intending to be offensive. That's not very nice. That's nasty. That should never be encouraged. It should never be accepted. there are people out there that will take that offence. They should never have to take that offence. There'll be people out there that will take that and be like, I don't give a fuck off, I'm not interested. And there'll be people out there that will be really affected by it. Now, to be fair, neither of those individuals should be subjected to that particular attack. However, when there's a joke or a comment or someone says something that's, you can almost tell 9 times out of 10, there's no intent for that individual to be offensive. You're worried about saying, I don't want to have any more children in case you offend someone. How in any way is that an offensive statement? People get too easily offended, and the biggest fucking cunt that pisses me off in the modern day world as well, actually, whilst we're at it, is those fucking arseholes who get offended on behalf of someone else. Fuck off. Fuck off. You can go and take yourself in a fucking well and drown yourself. Being offended on behalf of someone else. I've known situations where an individual, say you, let's say I say something mildly sexist, right? Mildly.
No.
Shocking, I know. But let's say I say something, right? You're the female in the room and there's another guy in the room, okay? You're not offended and you laugh and you genuinely laugh and think it's funny and you're like, cool, Liam's made a Liam joke, who cares? The other guy in the room then is offended on your behalf. Fucking do one, dickhead. If you were genuinely upset and offended by that, there's a little part of me, depending on what the joke was or what I said, there's a little part of me that's like, fucking Jesus Christ. I'm not going to choose to spend much time around you. There's also a little part of me, depending on what I said, that'll be like, I'm sorry, that wasn't the intent there. That wasn't what there's no way I meant to make you feel that way, right? So there is a bit, depending on what's said in the situation, the scenario, and the people that are involved.
Yeah.
But when an individual gets offended on behalf of someone else, it's terrible on the internet as well. Fuck off. Not interested. To take your comment somewhere else. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care. Go away.
So circling back, I don't know if women have a midlife crisis, and I wonder if that's actually.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Circling
We're
back.
We're just waiting for the 45 gifted members. All right, come on.
So I wonder if actually the midlife crisis tone being heavily associated with men, is that actually showing a wild lack of mental health services catching men?
Is it, or is it showing a lack of people catching women?
Yeah.
Because we so heavily suggest that men have midlife crisis, we never talk about women having it. Maybe they do. Maybe they're suffering more in silence.
Possibly. Women are, I say better, which is for lack of a
masking.
better word. Yeah.
Yes, they are. That's scientific.
Yeah.
That's a scientific fact. That's been proven.
That's all. So whenever somebody points out, like, I've only ever heard that associated with men. It doesn't. I immediately go to, oh, is that a lack of mental health services for men? Like, do they still have nowhere to go when they feel a bit like, I feel like I'm stumbling into a lost period of time, and I don't feel anyone can offer me words of support because I'm not sure anyone understands where I'm coming from. Maybe you can help. And is that service not there? Or is it there, they just don't talk about it, it's not advertised, so no one knows it's there?
It's difficult, isn't it? I don't know, actually. I don't know what the answer is there, to be honest with you. I would argue that the midlife crisis, quote-unquote, scenario isn't gender-specific. I would argue that it is applicable to anyone.
Yeah.
I reckon anybody is susceptible to it. I wonder if sometimes women in that age bracket, typically, not always, but typically, mothers of children, run households, that kind of thing, perhaps they don't have the capacity to entertain it. That's a terrible way of wording what I'm trying to say. But perhaps they have so much going on that in itself masks the fact that they're having these moments because they've still got to get the kids to school, they've still got to make dinner, I'm fucking generalising here, by the way, because some of them have careers as well. But we have spent time witnessing and watching and looking at families out and about, right? And it doesn't matter often whether you think mum is a career mum or not. She's still the one looking after the kids.
The default parent.
The default parent, right? And I try very hard to not make you the default parent, and you still are the default parent. Despite the fact that I'm trying not to make you the default parent.
Yeah, but that's by design. Because you work incredibly unsociable hours. So
she says sat here with me working. Right?
But I'm the default parent because I'm the one that home-eds them. I'm the one that chaperones, facilitates. Yes, I cook and clean and care for them and all the rest. You're obviously here, but you're here in a whole other capacity because you work from home half the time. So they know, don't bother Dad, he's working. It doesn't look like it because he might be doing something on his computer, but that's his job. So just because he hasn't left the house doesn't mean he's not working. So then I become the default parent by design because that's the rhythm of our house.
I think it's I for fear of upsetting people, and I am now getting. This is the other thing as well with the fucking white hair and the earring. I'm getting to a point where like I don't fucking care about offending people anymore. Fuck them, right? So I say for fear of upsetting people. Here's the other thing. I think by nature, mum is the default parent.
Well, I suppose from the very beginning, yeah.
Can to some degree, if we speak, obviously, if we take science to one side with formula, etc., can a baby survive without mum? Can a baby survive without dad?
This
Right.
is where I quietly back out of the room.
Can survive without dad.
What's that Pokemon?
Arguably can survive without dads, although I do personally think that children, I'm one of those old-fashioned people who think that I personally believe that children need a father figure and a mother figure in their lives to become, for the most part, a rounded, stable child.
Man, you're on fire today.
I fucking don't give a shit, Lise. I absolutely believe that the best chance a child has is to have a mother and father figure. I'm not saying a person can't become a good person if they don't have one or the other. Absolutely not. I know fucking tons of people that only had one or the other and are beautiful humans. But I think that they have a better chance or an easier run if they have both. I think that's factual, right? And I think that both parents offer a different form of nurture, because I believe more in nurture over nature personally, right? And I've read studies, but we won't.
I'm actually sweating. On this
I fucking don't care, right? But in seriousness, at the younger age, right? Although a child may or may not be more or less put together if they don't have a father figure, if we take away the science, if we take away formula, you need mum, you need breastfeeding. Absolutely, you do, 100%. I feel like mum being default parent is almost partly by nature, although I would go as far as to say that I believe more in nurture over nature. So scenarios definitely change that. So if a child gets raised in a house where mum is a full-time worker, she's a big CEO or something, and dad's a stay-at-home parent, that will probably change actually. In that household, it's almost definitely likely that dad becomes default parent.
Well, yeah,
Dad's
because
at home.
he's the one.
Yeah,
at home.
absolutely. But by nature, I feel like mum will be default. And nurture changes that. And it's okay to have differences between nurture and nature.
I'm going to get palpitations in a minute.
Lucy's getting very nervous. I think it's an interesting chat. I think it's an interesting conversation. I've been waiting for the extra gifters to come through so we can hit the 100, right? And I've been talking about passionate topics. We've got 110 people still watching. Can you, anyone? If all of you gift one, we'll hit the target. And then we can everyone go to bed happy. Hard disagree. Some women definitely aren't natural parents. I would agree with that, actually, to be honest with you. Father gives security. Mum is the caregiver. Completely correct, Liam. I think it's an interesting discussion. I'm also very, very open to discussion as well, by the way, about this. I'm not saying that what I'm presenting is fact. What I present is my opinion. We talk about this even in 40k and AOS, right? When Joe and I talk about anything 40k or AOS, you want to see the people that get so incredibly passionate about it. I'm like, I'm presenting opinion. And I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those ranters on Twitter who presents opinion as if it's fact and then gets very nasty to anybody who disagrees with what I've presented as opinion. I'm one of those individuals that when it comes into live chat like this or comments after the fact and you go, Liam, actually I disagree for these reasons, I'm like, that's interesting. And often I genuinely find it interesting. I'm like, that's interesting. Okay, cool. And I'll listen to your opinion. And I might not agree with it. I still might go, no, I still think what I think, but I'm interested in your opinions at least. And sometimes those opinions legitimately change my outlook as well and change the way that I look at things. I think it's healthy discussion. Was Abaddon born that way or was it Horus as a father? Exactly. Easton, thank you for the one gifted. Aaron, thank you. Aaron? Is that, how would you say that?
Aaron.
It's Aaron, isn't it?
Yeah,
thank you for the one gifted. Adrian! Thank you for the one gifted membership, you beautiful human. By the way, Adrian, I don't know if you worked this out or not, but I was in fact lying. I have in fact agreed to go to PeachyCon after I got a personal invitation from Mr. the Peach himself. So I will see you there if you're going. Exactly, ads. Exactly. I would kind of challenge that. My wife and I role swapped. I'm the stay-at-home parent, but we both bring something to the parenting table. 100% you do, absolutely. In that scenario, there's not many scenarios I know where there's two parents where one of them doesn't bring something to the table. Absolutely.
I did see an interesting reel on Facebook.
Yeah.
So now my phone has stopped sending me narcissistic stuff because they think I live with a narcissist. It's now said that a two-parent household is... So it was pretty much saying the scientific, air quotes, jobs of mother and father and why they're not... what's it called when you can swap in and out like that? Interchangeable,
yeah.
So they're not interchangeable because by nature, mum's job is to pour themselves over the children the whole time, love them, nurture them, raise them, and show them, model the behaviour of this is how to be a good person, pretty much. And then dad's job is to pour over their children, love them, nurture them, but face them outwards so that they go, right, mum has loved you and raised you and reared you.
But this is the world.
This is the harsh world now that I need to model for you how to cope with the word no.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So, yeah, I think this whole conversation, I'm so sweaty, babe. I can't believe you've done this to me. What an awful conversation to put on the internet. I fucking hate you.
Why? Why is it awful?
Because
we're not presenting anything as fact. We're not telling anyone that they're bad parents. We're not telling any women that they're bad mums or any
God, you're trying to finish me off.
We're not telling any men that they're bad dads. We're not telling anybody that they need to have both parents. We're not saying that a household has to have mum and dad.
My poor nervous system.
I don't understand why this is. But okay. But this circles back to my previous point. You're so absolutely terrified right now of who we might offend, despite the fact that realistically we're saying nothing offensive. We're presenting nothing as fact. We're presenting nothing as fact. It's all opinion.
Yes, but you're big, scary, and 6'2". No one's going to approach you in the real world to give you an opinion. I shall get the opinion.
I welcome it though. But I welcome that discussion. Discussion is healthy. And discussion, especially when discussioning is around differing opinions, is what helps you grow and learn. I learn
Tonight I am the default parent booting the kids to bed. Stopped bedtime and stories by the time you started. Only now they fell asleep fully.
So if you put a pillow over the head, Adrian. Thank you so much for the 25 million. Put a pillow over the face, they go to sleep much quicker. Just so you know. Evan, thank you so much for the one gifted. We're almost at 60. Well, sweet. We're in the Liam Gets Loose cancel stream. Honestly, chat, right? She'll hate me for saying this. I cannot describe how many times we come off stream and Luce is like, was what I said okay? Like, what are you on about? I'm worried we're gonna get us cancelled. What the fuck are you talking about?
I haven't done that in a while.
It's been a while. It has been a while. It's been a while. I'm really worried I'm gonna get us cancelled. Why? Well, I said this thing. It's like, right? Well, that people could get offended. Well, that's very much a them problem. She said, no, but it might get us cancelled. I was like, cancel culture and being cancelled is only really a thing if you let it be a thing.
I so want a lovely day trip in your head. I think it'd be a lovely day out.
Amazing. Only fact presented is its opinions. Well, exactly. Sorry, but what Luce refers to, what refers to scientific study posts on social media, my upbringing completely opposite of that. So cool science.
I did air quotes, didn't I?
She did do air quotes. She did do air quotes. Actual parenting is a good way, is not rewarded.
See you there. Flight is booked already.
You're amazing. I look forward to seeing you and embracing you once more, my friend. Never cancel your own opinions. I do more housework and make all the evening meals for my wife and daughter. She works longer, earns more than I do, works for us. That's incredible. I love that. I've said this forever, right? I would like to say that if Luce earned as much as I earn so that we could live the exact same lifestyle, I'd 100% swap and get rid of all the stress and be the stay-at-home dad. Actually, that's a lie. I wouldn't want that at all. I genuinely believe, from the bottom of my heart, that you have the harder job out of the two of us. Without doubt.
T-shirt idea. Luce holding her head in her hands. Quote, I was there when Liam got the stream cancelled. Smiley face.
Thanks, Yeston, for the 5. But I genuinely believe you've got the harder job. You have to put up with the children and me.
That's why me and the dog hide upstairs.
Yeah. I think you've got the harder job. I wouldn't want to. I'd rather do this and do what you do, without doubt. Nothing you can say, Luce, can be worse than your lesser half. Thanks, wee man. Love you too, sir. Love you too. Let someone try to cancel you. We'll come after them, says Sean. Thank you. I'm only quarter after 4 in the afternoon. Why am I wanting to go to bed? Because it's dark here and sleepy now. It's starting to cool down a little bit as well. I've carried on going because it's still 19 degrees. I'm trying to get it a bit cooler. And I'm just looking at this right now, obviously. What accent does the bot have? It read that as my flight is booked. Did it? It's probably because of how he wrote it, though. If you look at how he wrote booked, not Tonius. He wrote it. He wrote it. He spelled it. Spelt it. Spelled? Spelt. Spelled.
Spelt.
Is it spelt?
Yeah.
Booked. That's why she probably said booked. Yeah, booked, exactly. I do both prefer being dad. Carl, you're a fucking hero. Absolute hero. If the channel survived banjo string night, this should be safe, right?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
absolutely. Why? The Thanes, I think it was the Thanes, were awash after Wednesday with people having the toilet trough conversations with their better halves. It'd be like, that's not a thing. It is a thing. It exists. It's still a thing. Liam has Eddie every now and again. Luce has Liam every day. Yes, we do. This Tuesday, we've got Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming in, which will be exciting. If you're a Thane, then at some point on probably Monday, maybe Sunday, we'll open up guest questions in the Thanes chat for Hellstorm Mikey. And then on Tuesday evening, Mikey's bringing his OC Bone Reapers down. We're going to play AOS 4th edition. Me and Mikey on Tuesday. Joe on the deck. Very excited. I fucking love
Joe
Mikey.
on the deck?
Joe on the deck, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Joe wants to produce.
He wants to?
Yep.
Oh, good for him.
I fucking love Joe on the deck. It's brilliant because he literally, like, I didn't think a person could literally look lost for 3.5 hours. You just look over the deck, he's like this. The whole 3.5 hours. But the whole 3.5 hours, like, he doesn't know what button to press. And then you see him go. And then you see like a mini wave of like
I got the right
relief because he's got the right button. Like he's like, there's panic again. Straight away panic again. Because he knows he's got to pick a different button in a minute, right? Cornet Ed, thank you for 5 gifted. 64 chat. 36 to go. If all of you gift 1 in the next 5 minutes, we're done, right? We've given you an extra half an hour tonight to try and get this over the line. If 3 of you gift 10, 1 of you gives 5, 1 of you gives 1, we're done. If 3 of you give 20, we're done. If 6 of you give 50, we're done. Okay. Does he need to read every single super chat again? He will need to read every single super chat again. Yes, Mandy, that will be his job. Joe is a great producer. He waffles. It's great. He's not as bad as fucking hell. Brom is a nightmare at the moment. As a producer, on Tuesday he produced the AOS game, right? In terms of camera angle, switching, scoreboard, fucking great.
Yeah.
He did a great job. He was even getting out of his chair and moving the cameras. I was like, what's happened? Someone's after a pay rise, which is not that difficult because he gets paid fuck all. He did a really good job. But reading a super chat, I've never he'll get Easton's super chat up, right, which says T-shirt idea. Luce holding her head in her hands. Quote, I was there when Liam got the stream cancelled. Brom reads it. T-shirt idea. Luce holding her head in her hands. I'm like, fucking read it. Quote, I was there when Liam got the stream cancelled. I'm like, fuck me, Brom.
I've missed my train. You've been waffling on. I've missed my train.
Easton even super chatted on Tuesday at like 10:41, right? So we're over time already going. And he said something like, Liam criticises Brom when the stream runs over or something like that. And fuck me,
that one.
it took him 10 minutes to read the first half of it. I was like, no wonder the amount of time it was taking to read a super chat out. Liz, thank you so much for 20 gifted, you beautiful human. Have you got a fact ready?
Oh, no.
5-minute warning, Luce. For fact time, okay. Brom is about as literate as Amy. Liz, thank you so much for 20 gifted. That's incredibly kind of you. You beautiful human being. What a legend. Thank you so much. Up to 84. I didn't think we were going to get it tonight. We might actually get there. Thank you so much, Liz. Liz is going to prepare a fact. In 5 minutes, we're going to go. We've given you extra half an hour. Mostly because I was genuinely, honestly, mostly because I was waiting for the temperature to start coming down. Did you realise half an hour or 40 minutes ago it was still saying 22 on that? I was like,
imagine what it's going to be upstairs.
Yeah, right. So let it come down a little bit more, and then we're going to go up. So I love Bron, but he does read like programming is malfunctioning. He does. Although Joe can't read either, to be fair. Them two reading super chats is fucking hilarious. It's the best. Lucy's got a random fact book out. You wonderful people, we're going to get a random fact from the fact book, and then we're going to go to bed because I'm fucking tired. And tomorrow is magical for Luce and I, because you know what Saturdays are?
No alarm clock days.
No alarm clock days. So can you see these eyes? This is 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks of just sheer stress and tiredness. And then I've got a weekend off-ish. And then I've got Mikey in to do a saga on Tuesday and then do the stream. And I'm looking forward to having Mikey. Mikey's an absolute fucking doll. But I really want him to enjoy himself. Oh, fuck me sideways. Not literally, Liz. You might yourself be married. But thank you for 20 more gifted... Jesus Christ, Liz. Is your name really John? What fucking hero. When will I be able to do another Dempsey quiz? The next time we host a Dempsey con. We thought Hobby House would be open sooner, ads. I won't lie to you. You can cut. To be honest with you, you can reach out. You can come down and visit the studio one day, sir. I'll do a one-man quiz for you. Guess what? You'll probably win. Liz, thank you so much for 20 more gifted. That's 40 from Liz, chat. What's your excuse? What's your excuse? You fucking wonderful human being. Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much, Liz. Amazing. Amazing. You're all amazing. I love you all. You're all incredible. Have you found one?
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've got Mikey next week. It won't be actually that much of a drama because Mikey's an absolute babe. So it'll be loads of fun having Mikey in next week. But it's been a long few with the AOS launch and and having John in for the week. And I wanted to make sure John enjoyed himself. It's been a stressful couple of weeks. Good stress, right? 100% good stress. Not complainy stress. Good stress. But I am knackered now. Aaron, is it Aaron, by the way? Thank you so much for 5 more gifted memberships. Oh my lord. And Apple. Star Pilot. Don't touch Apple gifted, right? Not John, but just had a great audit at work, so cheers. Aw, bless you, amazing. Congratulations on a good audit as well. Thank you, Aaron. Is it Aaron? Please, can you tell me? I don't want to be getting your name wrong, because you just give it another 5 as well, you fucking human. Fucking beautiful, beautiful human. Have you found one yet?
No.
Jesus Christ, woman! With the 29 minutes over. I pay my Dempsey subscription. You do, Carl. You're a beautiful human too. You're all fucking beautiful humans, all 100 of you. Aaron, it is Aaron. Good, okay. I absolutely despair sometimes when Joe gets the name so horrifically wrong. So it's important to me that it's very important to me that I get names right, and sometimes it means I just have to ask you. Ads, thanks for 5 more gifted. You amazing, amazing human. Jesus Christ, it's popping now, Luce. They're all getting excited for Loose Fact.
Me too.
You can't see her like rapidly perusing this fact book,
I'm so
trying to find
excited.
something interesting. Where can I find a fact that won't get us cancelled? That's what she's thinking.
I have the headache. I have the anxiety headache now.
If it helps, I don't.
No, it doesn't help.
Cool, okay. Good. Oh, Liam said woman cancelled. Amazing. I think I've got to a point where I'm just past the point of caring, chat, to be honest.
But I'm not there yet, and you're like the Titanic. You're trying to drag me down with you, and I'm not there yet.
But I don't mean to offend anybody. That's a lie. I do mean to offend some people. It's very obvious when I mean to offend those people. But otherwise, I don't mean to offend anybody, so fuck them. It's a them issue, innit? Did Luce settle on an AOS army, says Ads.
I liked.
You've distracted her from fact-finding now, Adam. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Lumineth Realm Lords.
You've picked Lumineth.
I like those, yeah.
I'm painting Sylvaneth right now, and after Sylvaneth, I think I'm probably going to do either Crawl Boys or then Lumineth anyway. And I'll probably murder the colour scheme.
Yeah, that's why I go, oh, do I actually like it though?
But in terms of the way they've painted it, they're very pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very pretty. Very pretty. There you go, Adam. Lumineth. She's made a great choice. If you've seen the rules for Lumineth, look bonkers. What's that noise? Is that them still?
It's sounding so fun over there.
It sounds so fun.
There was Shania Twain, square dancing. And now I think there must be some kind of auction going on because he's speaking very quickly.
Oh, he's drunk.
He's drunk.
Yeah, good pick. Good choice. People praising your choice of Lumineth Realm Lords. Fucking love the Lumineth Realm Lords. Literally sat here assembling Usheran. Great model. We need to get an Usheran for Joe, actually. Especially your courts. I'm starting to learn when people say certain words, Adam, I'm starting to learn what faction they are. I'm getting there. Painting the Lumineth Spearhead too. I've got the Lumineth Spearhead nearby. But I've currently put everything that's not Sylvaneth or Cruel Boys away for now, bar one Imperial Fist. And my desk is literally awash with Sylvaneth stuff. Have you found one?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is it a good one?
No.
Okay. This could be...
It's a fact.
This could be 32 minutes of anticlimactic chat, right? We have a loose fact. If you're new here, which I don't think any of you are, but if you are new here, if it's true, it's loose, spelt as per her name, L-U-C-E. If it's false, it's loose, spelt as per L-O-O-S-E. But she's going to tell you a fact now, and you've got to decide whether it's true or false, loose or loose.
Humans can lose up to a litre of fluid a night by sweating and exhaling when snoring.
I'm not saying a word. I thought that's only going to get me in trouble. It's only going to get me in trouble with that one.
You're a good husband.
A litre of sweat by sweating and snoring?
No, a litre of fluid.
By sweating and snoring?
Yeah. No, exhaling. Sweating and exhaling.
And snoring?
Yeah.
It's in a word. Loose never snores. 1 hour is rookie numbers, says Kazarian. 1 litre, sorry, is rookie numbers. Needs GW do something bad to drop the C words. Yeah, exactly. Loose. People, this doesn't feel like this is much of a divisive one. Or when you piss the bed. Amazing, John. Coming in their clutch right there. Amazing. Right, chat. You are wonderful human beings, and I love you all very much. So thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight on this extended 40k After Dark. I'm enjoying streaming so much at the moment. Like, genuinely enjoying streaming so much right now. Talking about streaming and talking about next week. There's a current person who's currently live, right? So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to end the stream really fucking quickly. We're going to go raid Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming, right now. We're going to raid him. And what I want you to do, he put a video out last week, right, or this week. I think it might have been last week. That said, people have been asking me how I film battle reports. Here's a behind the scenes of my studio. What I want you all to do right now when we raid Mikey from Hellstorm is put the phrase, "Can't wait for you to see a proper studio next week."
No, don't do it.
Can't wait for you to see a proper studio next week.
No.
That's what you're going to say, right, chat?
No.
Agree?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's what we're going to put in there. Thank you so much for all the super chats tonight. You people are amazing. Thank you for all the likes, and thank you so much for all the gifted memberships. A big shout out to Liz for 40 gifted. Thank you so much, Liz. You're amazing. I love you all. You're all incredible. On Monday, we'll be back with a Great Hall hobby night, and we'll be hanging out and hobbying, and I'll probably be building some more Sylvaneth stuff. I might even be painting, but that'll be Monday. I'm very much looking forward to it. Tuesday, again, we're back with no 40k Liam and Joe show. No, sorry, no Liam and Joe AOS show, but there will be a live stream with Mikey because we're doing a saga. Wednesday, back with a Warhammer show, so on and so forth, right? Can't wait for you to see a proper studio.
No.
Okay?
No, don't
Thank you, you wonderful people, for watching tonight's show. You're all amazing. I love you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.